You underestimate my power. Don't try it.
I'm sure everyone here has seen that fight scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan before Anakin becomes Darth Vader in Star Wars. There's also an AI music version cover, which is actually a banger. But one thing I noticed while listening to it was that it paralleled a lot of the fights that I've seen between management or owners against employees. Now you might think what I'm saying is absolutely absurd. How do you correlate the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin to a boss and his subordinates? Well, let me break it down for you in this video. Let's start with the first actual point. So I'm gonna skip a little bit of the first part where Padme is crying.
You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. You have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
So right here he says you have allowed the Dark Lord to twist your mind. You have become the very thing you swore to destroy. My interpretation of this is that the manager has observed like a significant change in the employee's behavior, one that contradicts the organization's values. The manager sees the employee's actions as counterproductive or harmful to the team's mission, and he does attempt to call it out directly. He mentions his mind has been twisted. Now this could be maybe another employee who has a very bad attitude or sets a bad example that leached onto this good employee's mind. Or maybe he's been listening to one of those anti-work social media personalities that has slowly eaten away at their will to work. Or maybe that has given them a sense of entitlement. Let's continue.
Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire!
Now the employee, who's Anakin, feels that maybe he has outgrown the manager's authority, and he accuses the manager of misunderstanding their vision or their goals. Anakin's frustration here really mirrors that an employee who believes maybe his company's processes or their leadership have failed, and because of that the employee needs to assert their independent path as a superior, which sometimes this is true, in the sense that an employee should actually be a superior worker than a manager or a boss or an owner. However, leadership isn't in that position because they're a superior worker. They're in that position because they know how to lead or they know how to manage. Although there are times that management loses sight of what works within the organization, and that's when that company begins to fail or fall apart. Especially if they don't listen to the workers or the peons on the ground who see the problems within the organization at a different level that a lot of higher ups don't see, and frankly, people kind of hide from them so they don't see it.
I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire!
Your new empire? Yeah, of course the manager or the higher up is always going to be in disbelief when someone challenges their leadership. So now the manager challenges the employee's stance that he would be able to run the company or manage it better than him.
Your new empire! Don't make me kill you!
So right here, this employee issues an ultimatum. While he's not literally going to kill him, this could represent maybe a metaphorical threat, such as leaving the company or disturbing the other coworkers' work, or maybe even undermining the manager's authority, saying that if you don't listen to what I have to say, I'm gonna cause all these problems.
Don't make me kill you, Anakin. My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
So this manager is obviously very loyal to the company. He is gonna reaffirm that loyalty by saying that is where his allegiance stands. He stands with the company's mission or principles. Whether he believes this or not, that's what he's gonna say. And this represents the manager prioritizing the value of the company over the value of a personal relationship he has with the employee, or the employee's individual ambitions.
My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Again, the employee stands firm in his ultimatum. It's an all or nothing stance, and this reflects the breakdown that he has in communication, where this employee actually feels very isolated and he doesn't see any room for compromise with the manager's perspective.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
All right, so this manager is also not backing down. He's gonna stand firm in his decision. We all know that it's nigh impossible to get a manager to backtrack or maybe even admit he was wrong. And that's actually one thing that both the manager and the employee has in common. They both believe they are in the right here, which means that it's gonna be pretty much impossible to change anyone's mind. But him saying I'll do what I must represents that he's going to be a leader who is willing to take the difficult actions, like enforcing rules or ending the relationship that they have with the employee, if the employee refuses to collaborate. But at the same time, this also shows blind allegiance that this manager is going to have to the company, regardless if they're right or wrong.
I have failed you, Anakin, I have failed you. I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over.
So here's actually a surprise. The manager is showing that he's taking some responsibility for this employee's downfall, or how this employee ultimately feels about the company. It could be an acceptance of maybe poor leadership, which resulted in the employee losing trust for him or even his respect for him.
I have failed you, Anakin, I have failed you. I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over.
Now this could be interpreted as maybe there was nepotism involved or favoritism involved when hiring new people or promoting people, giving people raises. So this employee is going to feel like the work he did was actually for nothing. Yes, you're getting paid, but you're trying to work so you can get paid more, right? To be held in a higher standard in your company. Now you're passed over because of something that was out of your control ultimately. And you feel like this is a personal attack against you. Meanwhile, they don't see it as an attack against you. It's more like, hey, I'm going to help out someone else. I'm going to do something for someone else. But the consequence of that ultimately makes the other employees who are working hard feel like they're left out.
I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. Anakin, Chancellor, Palpatine is evil.
All right, this is the manager's last attempt to demonize the person that manipulated the employee's ideology or perspective.
Anakin, Chancellor, Palpatine is evil. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost.
Now this is simply a classic no you argument. He's saying, hey, this thing or this person is evil. And the other person saying, no, your thing is evil. Your perspective is evil. This ultimately shows that both sides have made up their minds, regardless of anything else the other has to say.
Well, then you are lost. This is the end for you, my master.
This one's pretty obvious. The employee truly believes he will win in this fight against management and the company, which we all know, very unlikely, bro. You will try. You will try.
This is the end for you, my master. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
This manager is going to assert that, hey, I have the authority here. I have the strategic advantage. And this symbolizes the reality that managers ultimately have the final say in organizational conflicts due to their position. HR is not going to take the employee's side when it comes to this kind of stuff. They're not. They're going to take the manager's side. So really, he does have the high ground. He has all the power here.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. Don't try it!
Well, the employee here is going to refuse to back down. And he still believes that he holds some kind of leverage. Maybe he's that good of a worker. He thinks, no, there's no way they can fire me. You can double down all you want. Remember, you got to face the consequences of this. And the Obi-Wan says, don't try it. So this is his final warning and kind of like a plea from the manager about, hey, there's going to be a risk in this confrontation. He's suggesting that if you continue this path, further escalation could harm both parties. The manager knows, like, hey, I'm going to have to terminate this employee, which is going to lead to a lot of work, not only for me, but for a lot of people in my company. People are going to have to pick up the slack. There's a lot of paperwork that goes involved. Now we're going to have to search for a new employee to fill his position. It's a huge headache and it's a lot of hassle. And it's going to cost money for the initial training. So they know there's a cost to letting someone go. And especially if they're a good worker, they're going to try and hold on to that person. But, you know, with these kind of issues, what can you do?
You underestimate my power. Don't try it. You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. I hate you. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
So it's obviously done for the employee. We all knew this was going to happen. It's very, very rare that an employee wins against management or the owner. The deed is done. The manager has to lament that They saw potential in the employee. They're going to express disappointment over the employee's decisions. And this is going to reflect that the leader did genuinely care for the employee and feels a sense of loss over their relationship. If it's a good manager, some managers will just be happy to get rid of them, regardless of whether or not they're a good employee or not, mainly because of ego. But this is especially true with younger employees, people that maybe this is their first job or one of their first jobs, where they were really given a chance and trained here at this job. The manager, the boss, whatever, he saw how much potential this person could bring to the company. They tried to build them up as much as possible, to train them, to teach them, so they could reach that potential, whether it's for a selfish reason, because they saw that, hey, not only will it make this company more profitable, but it will also make my job easier, knowing that I have a very dependable and loyal employee here. So Obi-Wan, or the manager, waited too long to address Anakin's, or the employee's, growing dissatisfaction, and he allowed the conflict to escalate. Neither the manager or the employee were open for discussion. They both had a rigid and unwavering stance, which left little to no room for any understanding or compromise. So the manager here did care in a sense for the employee, whether it's for a selfish reason or not, which ultimately caused communication between the two to break down. The biggest mistake here was allowing the conflict to reach an all or nothing stake, and these always lead to irreversible consequences. I've seen people in every position within an organization get fired because of ultimatums. Helpers, journeymen, leaders, foremen, managers, it doesn't matter. Co-owners I've even seen get kicked out because of them not willing to compromise and making an ultimatum. I know this is a great scene for the catalyst that ultimately created Darth Vader, but the music video here just gives it that chef's kiss, really. But this scene does show different perspectives and the unaddressed conflicts that can escalate beyond repair, and the importance of timely and good leadership to prevent this whole thing from happening. So if you're an employee or your management, maybe go rewatch this scene. Go listen to the music video. I'm going to link it down below in the description because, you should watch the original video. But yeah, just go relook at this scene and maybe look at both sides and see where they're both coming from. Both of them are being manipulated, and they both have their own ideologies and the reasons that they do what they do. So it's always better to get in the perspective of who you're talking to so you can see where they're coming from, which can help you understand what they actually want. Because sometimes people can't communicate what they actually want. And maybe people just want to be heard. They feel like their voice doesn't matter. A lot of people devote their entire life to a company, but if they feel like the company doesn't see them at all or doesn't acknowledge them, then why would they continue to do that? If you're looking for a job and want training, check the link in the description to CourseCareers. They will give you job training and help you even find a job. And then you can go remake the Anakin versus Obi-Wan scene with your employer. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try. I have